Okay, hi everyone. Good day to all of you. Today I'm going to talk about a different topic, which is all about problems people or most of us would encounter when we are applying for a job. Now, these problems or concerns or issues that we encounter, these are actually based on my personal experience and personal observation as well. And I have here one, two, three, four on my list. Though there are other issues or problems that we encounter, but to me, these are the most common that we encounter. Number one problem when we are applying for a job that we encounter is that I have talked this one already previously. This is all about not being able to know where you're going. So you don't know what kind of path you are taking or you will take, and you don't know what kind of job you are trying to pursue, what kind of direction you're going. So it seems that you're lost. You don't know what step to take in order for you to move forward. And I am not going to dwell with that too much because I have already shared my opinion and my insight on my previous videos. So just make sure that you try your best to focus and to think of your future. And as early as now, you have to make sure, you have to create a plan for yourself so that you will not be left behind, and know as early as now, know where to go and create that direction for yourself. So the second problem or issue that most people would actually encounter, this is the most common, that's going to be the lack of self-confidence and self-esteem. Now, I know this is quite common, especially if we are a fresh grad, or not really, especially if you're not so sociable, if you're not so outgoing kind of person. So whenever you're caught in an interview, you always feel intimidated, you feel shy, because knowing that you're maybe new to the job, or you don't have any experience at all. So it's actually normal that, especially if you're fresh grad, it's normal that you don't have much experience with regard to the job itself. You don't know anything about the corporate world, how it works, the complications there. There's just so much to learn. But naturally, all people start from there. So we start from the very bottom, the first step, and eventually and gradually our experience, our self-confidence, our self-esteem will also be honed, and you will gain that gradually along the way as you move forward. And we are not born automatically confident. We are honing that through our experiences. So imagine if you have applied for 10 companies, all you need to do is just attend to all the interviews. Whether you're nervous, you're anxious, you're shaking, you're not able to answer the questions, but you will notice that on your 11th or 10th interview, you're already confident. It happened to me when I was a fresh grad. I was applying for big companies in Cebu. I was rejected a number of times because, when you face the interviewer, especially if it's a panel interview, you would shake, you feel nervous, you feel anxious, and sometimes it would affect your confidence, your self-confidence. So basically, you don't get the job because, you're not confident when you answer the question, and that's normal. And as I move along, I faced a lot of interviews. So later on, I noticed to myself that I was gaining more confidence. I became more confident to face the interviewer, the team, the human resources team whenever I had the interview. And after quite some time, I I I became someone who is way better than the old me. So that's it. Same when you are doing a job. Like for example, you are doing this for the very first time. So you have to be very careful because you have to make sure that everything is correct. The process that you're doing is correct in order for you to avoid mistakes. Later on, as the days pass, when you are doing same routine, same process, you would actually gain confidence when doing that particular thing. And you can actually do that even if your eyes are closed. So that's same concept. Like you're gaining confidence gradually. And same as well when you're developing your self-confidence yourself in facing interview, it's same concept. So just continue doing and pushing forward, move on, and eventually your self-confidence and your self-esteem will boost. And that's another thing. Next problem or concern that we encounter when we are applying for a job is the lack of support. To me, I have two categories for the lack of support. We may have lack of financial support. We also have lack of psychological support. So when we say financial support, so it talks about finances, talk about money. It's given that when you're applying for a job, you're a fresh grad, of course, you don't have enough source of money for you to finance your expenses. Or even if you were jobless for quite some time, your savings may have been exhausted. So you may struggle to find expenses and to budget your money. You have to pay for fare, for food, snacks, printing, load for the internet, especially right now that the fare has doubled because of the pandemic, and everything is going online. So basically you have to have a load for your phone also to access the internet. So it's also costly, to be honest. And if you don't have available resources, it's also a struggle for us. But I think every problem there's a solution. So you may ask from your friend, you may borrow money from your friend, from your family, and just make sure that you will pay them whenever you land on a job the soonest possible time. Okay, that's another concern. And to be honest, in my being in the profession, I encountered a number of applicants who will not pursue with their job because they don't have money. They would actually honestly tell me, text me, or call me that, hey Vince, I would appreciate the opportunity that was given by the company, but as of now, we are experiencing, we don't have money to process my requirements, we don't have money for the fare, I'm living far from the city, I don't have any money to pay for my rent yet, and my family is also having some financial problems right now, and that's technically happening. And I guess there isn't much that I can do, but to hope that they would be able to overcome the problem. So that's another concern. And next is lack of support is psychological. When we talk about psychological, it's something to do with mental, emotional support. That's actually beyond the physical support that we are giving. To me, it doesn't really matter if I get psychological support because I'm an independent person. Ever since I was applying for a job, I always keep it to myself. I don't really share it to my family and my friends, rarely, because I just prefer doing it on my own. I can do it even if I just have to motivate myself, being a strong, independent person. And also, I don't really like sharing it to my parents, especially to my mom, because my mom has a tendency to share it to other people unknowingly. So I just have to be very careful, because there may be things that sharing these information, it will go outside from your house, especially if you're sharing your plans to apply in this company to your friends. And that's also something that you have to be very careful. There may be friends who are not so supportive of you, that they don't really like your plans and the like. They are against your plan, something like that. It would actually break or interrupt the positivity of things. The negative vibe that these people are bringing would actually cut off the luck, and everything else will falter and will fail. So to me, I would better keep it to myself. I will just tell them whenever I finally hired, and yeah, that's a good news. But there are people who are really so sensitive, so emotional, that their emotions and their mental and emotional state needs to be caressed, needs to be supported all the way. Trust me, there are people who are like that. You can just blame them and accuse them and judge them for being that way, for behaving that way, because it's just their personality. There are people that you need to constantly remind and encourage every single day, push them slowly and the like. There are really people who are like that. And these people would actually somehow require psychological support. Words of encouragement, physical touches, physical hug, and the like. So words of encouragement, words of wisdom, every single day. So that's another thing. They may not be able to do it without the people giving them psychological support. So that's another thing. Especially, parents are just too lax and, undermining the situation that their child may be having. So that's, I think, another thing that we have also to consider. And if these people are not given psychological support, they may have the tendency to be demotivated. They feel less important, they incompetent, and the like. So there are really people who are like that. Please don't judge them. It's just that they need to hone their psychological aspect. But yeah, that's it. And last, number 4 is last issue or problem that I guess I'm going to be talking is that another problem that we encounter when we apply for a job is indolence, or synonymous to or somehow related to laziness. So if you are a little bit lazy to get up from bed and start your day looking for a job and applying, I know job hunting, looking for a job is very difficult, very hard, very laborious, tiresome, and the like, to be honest. And if you let your indolence or your laziness overshadow yourself, then nothing would actually happen at the end of the day. You're just ending up there sitting, sleeping, and the like, without any progress. So I think that's something that other people cannot change. It's just us, our personal self, who can give a solution and who can give an end to that, indolence or laziness that we have. So if you are hardworking, if you're determined, if you're dedicated to really chase your dreams and build yourself a better future, then we have to start moving as early as now. There's no other way, there's no other time, but now is the time. So I guess I have shared some of the problems that we encounter when we're applying for a job. Though there may be other problems or issues that we encounter along the way, but these are, I think, to me, the major and the most common, based also on my experience and my observation in the society. Yeah, that's it. So I hope, despite all the problems that we are facing every single day with help from God. That's another thing. Prayers, your prayers for yourself, from your family and loved ones, are also something that we need to support us. That's another thing. That's something I think psychological or spiritual support. When we talk about prayers, asking for help from the Almighty. Now, that despite all the problems, challenges that we are facing, there's still a light at the end of a tunnel. And tomorrow, another sun will, the sunrise will come again and give us rays of hope to move on, to start walking and conquer all the odds and obstacles that are laid before us. So, thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope you have learned something from this. I'll see you soon. Feel free to comment below if you have any suggestions or if you have any reactions, and I hope to see you very soon in my next videos. Have a good one. Bye-bye.